Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Mike. Good morning, and welcome to our broadcast on this morning. I am Lady Victoria of Victoria. Good morning, Rashonda. I am Lady Victoria of Victoria School of Etiquette, where we offer a solution to all of your etiquette dilemmas. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for the love on this morning. I'm so glad to see you all coming on in. So, yes, please do come on in, tag a neighbor, tag a friend, and have them come on in and join us on our first Monday broadcast of the brand new year. Mind Your Manners Monday. I'm broadcasting to you live from the great windy city of Chicago, Chi-Town, we like to call it. We are the best in the Midwest, and Victoria School of Etiquette applauds you for being a part of our platform on this morning on Mind Your Manners Monday. So, this is our usual broadcast time every Monday morning. You can catch me here live, and our theme on Mondays is Mind Your Manners, where we have a little discussion about something relative and just to remind you to mind your manners, setting you up for the week. So, I'm not going to hold you too long, but for all of you that are watching live, thank you. And for those of you that will watch the replay or that might come in later, please be kind and rewind and watch from the beginning to the end. For those of you on YouTube, you'll be able to get it later on today. It'll be uploaded to my YouTube channel by the same name, Victoria School of Etiquette, where you can watch it there. And if you haven't been over to my YouTube page, please go over there and sign up so you can get the notifications. That way, if you miss it here, you also have an immediate platform to watch it over there. So on this Monday, now that the holiday season is over and we are into our new year, 2020, we're going to do a post-holiday review on today. So all of the parties are over, all of the family members that came in and traveled from out of town, and all of the dinners and what have you, putting on your nice holiday fancy clothes, and those of you that participated in whatever ugly sweater contest that might have been going on in your workplace or even in your family gatherings. So now we are into the top of the year, and we get a chance to do this all over again by the end of this year. But some of the holiday do's and don'ts that I would like to address, some of you may have found yourself in these various situations. You might not have quite known what to do or how to handle it. So I'm here to answer those questions. And so let's start at the very beginning. Let's start at the very beginning when you are planning your holiday event, your holiday dinner, whether you are hosting it at your home, whether it's going to be held somewhere else, at a rec center or at a restaurant. There's some basic things that we should all be a part of and be aware of. So the first thing is when you're hosting a party, you want to be mindful of your guest list. And guess who's in control of your guest list? You are. You're the one that's in control of your guest list. And so if you are sending out formal invitations, then you need to be mindful that during the holiday season, I suggest that you send your at least set the date cards at least 2 months ahead of time, because it's a busy time of year. People are traveling, people are coming and going. And so if you're having a holiday to do, and you want people to attend, you need to give them enough notice. Typically, 3 to 4 weeks is enough, but during the holiday season, I suggest doubling that time, sending out your save the date cards early, and then following up immediately 2 weeks after that with your formal invitations. And on your invitations, you are, again, in control of your guest list. So if you are inviting someone and you're not sure whether or not they have a significant other, like if they're not married and you're not sure if they're seriously dating or what have you, and you want to give them the option of bringing someone, add +1 to the invitation. So you would say Victoria Dubose +1. But if you just say Victoria Dubose and I am dating someone and we go everywhere together, but you are unaware of that, then I just may assume that it is okay for me to bring another person. Good morning, Rachel, without knowing for sure whether or not it is okay. And so in order for your guest list not to be overwhelmed, let's say you have a guest list of 30, but you've not made it clear to half of the people whether or not they can bring another person. So your guest list can escalate easily from 30 to 45. So you want to make it clear whether or not your single guests have the option of bringing another person. And you simply put +1 next to their name, and they know that it is okay for them to bring an additional person with them. If you don't want children at your party, if you don't want children at your event, that's also something that you tag on your invitation. No children, please, or no children under the age of, whatever the age is, no children under the age of 12. So that clearly says no children at all. And if you are inviting families that have young children, you should be mindful and considerate of that. Because if they're coming to your event and it is a paid event and there's no children allowed at the event, then that means that family has to get a sitter, or they have to employ someone to watch their children, or they might just have the option of not being able to attend. Maybe it's unaffordable for them to be able to come out to the dinner and have to hire a sitter for 3 or 4 hours while they are at your event. So those are things that you should just be mindful of and recognize and realize that it is holiday season. And so they're paying to come to your event, but they have their Christmas shopping to do. They have their own family dinner or event, that they are going to, of course, come out of pocket for. So be mindful of the expenses. Be mindful of the expenses. So that's the first thing. Sending out your invitations in plenty of time. Sending out your save your date cards first, and then following up with a formal invitation 2 weeks after that. Give your guests plenty of time to RSVP so that you know how to shop. So you already have your menu planned out and you know what it is that you're going to serve, but you want to be mindful of how many you are shopping for. Not everyone will be able to bring another person for whatever reason, and it's their business. But when they RSVP, they should be letting you know that. So this helps you to know how many people to shop for, and you still have plenty of time. You don't want to shop too early for your food because, of course, you want everything to be at optimum. You want everything to be really fresh, and you want everything to be crisp of your holiday food. And so you don't want to shop too far ahead, but you don't want to shop too close to your date either, so that when you go to shop, some of the items are not available and you're running around trying to go to 12 different stores to find exactly that roast leg of lamb that you want. So be mindful of your menu. Be mindful of giving your guests enough time to RSVP so that you know exactly how many people are coming, and you know how many people you actually end up shopping for. There's nothing like shopping for, thinking that you're planning a dinner for 50 people and you have a smaller number, a much smaller number of people that have responded. Thank you, Rashonda, that have responded. And so now you have all of this food left over at the end because you overshopped. Now, I would tell you that most restaurants, when you go someplace in places where you might be hosting an event, they'll always give you like maybe 10%, 5 to 10% on your guest list. They give you that wiggle room because there might be someone else that shows up unexpectedly, okay? And then you might have people that have heard about your event. Somebody else kind of invited them by word of mouth. Oh, did you know that Lady Victoria was having an event? Oh, you didn't get your invitation yet? Girl, I'm sure she won't mind if you show up. On the other end, invitees, please do not do that without the host's permission. Do not invite other people to someone else's event without getting their permission first. These are holiday do's and don'ts that we are addressing on this morning. And so while the holiday season is past, this is information that you can carry over into this year. You don't have to wait till the holidays. Anytime you're having an event, a dinner party, or whatever it is that you are hosting, this information is applicable in all of those situations. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Roshanda. Good to see you on this morning, lady. So yes, do not invite other people that by word of mouth that the hosts themselves have not invited. I was invited to an event this past fall, and I was talking to another friend of mine that knew the guest of honor very well and wanted to attend. And I did. I said, I'm sure you wanted to be there. I know that they have their guest list. And the person kept asking. So I took it upon myself to call the host and simply say, hey, this person heard about the event and would like to know, is it feasible for them to attend? I got the permission of the host or the hostess before I said to my friend, yes, it's okay for you to attend. It wasn't my event. I wasn't on the board, so I didn't have permission. I didn't have the right to invite someone else without the hostess being informed and approving it. So just don't go around inviting other people that have not been a part of the original guest list. So we've covered that. We've covered the invitations, the save the date cards, the invitation, and the RSVP time. And those of you that are responding, please make sure that you do respond by the RSVP date. They have a cutoff date for a reason so that they can cap their numbers, especially if they're having their event in a public place. They want to know, good morning, Helen. They want to know, the hall is going to want to know how many people they have. And so if they rented a space and the capacity is 75, and you have 100 people showing up, that could be an issue. That could be an issue. You have to be concerned. Good morning. You have to be concerned and be mindful of their fire code, right? You don't want to overcapacitate a room. You don't want too many people in there because God forbid that something should happen. They don't want you overcrowding the room. So there is a RSVP cutoff date for a reason. That is to report back to the hall or just for themselves. If they are hosting it in their home, they have to know how many to set up for. So if they're only anticipating 25 and 50 people show up, they may not have enough room. They may not have enough room, and they may not be in a position to accommodate, to shift gears and accommodate the extra numbers that have shown up. So if you invited 25 people and only 23 people show up, you're great. If you invite 25 people and you give that 10% wiggle room and you have another, let's say, give it a round number, 3 people that are going to show up, so 25, you have 28, then you probably do have enough room to accommodate 3 more bodies and 3 more appetites. Because again, the cutoff date for the RSVP is also to give the host and the hostess enough time to shop and make accommodations for everyone on the guest list that they invited. So those are just some tips that you can take along with you. I hosted an event and people invited people and did not pay and ate the food. We had extra and still ran out of food. Yes, yes. So that is a terrible position to put your host or hostess in. So remember that when you are invited out to an event and it is a paid ticketed event, so you're coming to the event and they're also serving you dinner, please be mindful that if someone else invited you, then again, it is your responsibility to contact the host or the hostess and ask them, hey, I invited 12 other people. Would that be okay? So who's paying for those 12 people? Who's paying for their dinner? Be mindful of that. Don't sidetrack people like that. That is very rude and inconsiderate. So don't do that. Good morning, Demetria. So don't do that. Always be mindful of the host. Those regulations, those things are set in order for a reason. So it makes you a good guest and a valuable one that people would like to invite back again when you adhere to all of those protocols. Responding to save the date, then responding to the RSVP. If you are coming, yes, I will attend. No, I am sorry. I am unable to attend at this time. And we only talking about holiday parties. So we're not talking about gifts and all of that. That would be another broadcast that I could do at another time. But typically when you are an invited guest to someone's home, it's still appropriate to show up and bring the host a small gift. Just something small. You don't have to go all out and redecorate their home. You don't have to do all of that. But it is appropriate to bring the host a small gift. It's your way of showing your appreciation and your thank you for them inviting you out to their event. So during the holiday season, when you are being hosted in someone's home, their home is decorated to their liking. So please do not come into the home Hey, Cousin Rick, please do not come into the home and start making comments about their decorations and their holiday style and taste. It is their home and it is inappropriate, especially to make comments openly. I don't know why she used that color scheme. I would not have used that if it were me. Well, it's not you, it's them. So allow them, they have free reign in their own home. To decorate how they want to. So please do not begin to chat it up with other guests about how things are decorated and how the room is situated and all of that, even about the menu. That's another thing when you're RSVPing. Even if you're hosting something in your home, I think it's a good idea, and I advise hosts and hostess to do this, to let people know what is on the menu. Ask if people are allergic to any type of foods. Maybe they are allergic to seafood. They might be allergic to fish. Maybe they aren't allergic to it, but maybe it's just not something that their palate enjoys. You need to know those things. And today, with all of the healthy eating and all of that, and people that are vegan and people that are pescatarian and what have you, you want to make sure that you're serving a meal that is accommodating to all of your guests. And so the onus is on you to say, hey, this is what the menu is. And if they respond, if a person responds yes, and they still want to come, and there's something on the menu that they don't like or that they might be allergic to, then it's up to you as the host to offer them an alternative. You can't simply just say, oh, I'm so sorry about your food allergy, but girl, come on out and enjoy yourself. Good morning, Lydia. No, please try to accommodate your guests. It's a two-way street here. You invited them because you want them to come out and have a good time, and you want to enjoy their company, and you want them to enjoy your meal. You want everything to be pleasant to them. So offer them an alternative if they are allergic to something or if it's just something that they don't eat. I tell people all the time, I'm not really a vegetarian, but I eat vegan and I don't eat pork, period, under any circumstances. So if you're having pork and you did not inform me, I do not want to be rude, but I'm probably not going to partake of that particular thing on my plate. And so there is a way, even as a guest, for you to do that. Please don't eat anything that's going to make you sick or that's going to irritate or aggravate your allergy, or any other part. If it's going to upset your stomach, like I said, if it's going to make you sick and make you uncomfortable, you're not being rude by not partaking of that. You can simply say to the host, get a message to the host, I am very sorry, but I can't eat pork. Or I'm very sorry, I didn't realize I missed this item on the menu when you sent out the invitation. I did not realize you were serving fish, and I am allergic to fish. So, but this is why we get our invitations. It's been a long time. Glad to see you doing well. Great life. Thank you. Thank you, Lydia. It's good to see you too. It has been a while. But these are the type of things that you want to be in conversation with your host about. And this is why, again, we send invitations. If you're not sending an invitation through the mail, if you are sending evites, then you want to still add these notations to your card. You want to add these notations to your card. If you're having a holiday barbecue, not everyone lives in a cold climate. If you live in Florida or you live in California and you are having a Christmas barbecue and you just telling everybody, hey, come on out, we're going to be out here in the backyard and we're going to be doing this and that. But still, you want to communicate what's going on. Let people know what the lineup of the day is. If you are having a happy hour where people are meet and greet, where people can come and assemble and get to know one another, shake hands with someone they haven't seen in a long time, or just meet a new person. Let them know what it is so they aren't just coming blind. I just know I'm coming to eat. That's all we're doing. Are you playing games? Those sorts of things. You want to let people know. And of course, you want to let people know what the dress attire is. Is it casual? Is it holiday? Of course, if it's a black tie event, that's going to be on there. But let people know how they are to dress. If you are having a secret Santa at the party, okay? So nobody's put names or what have you, but you give them the guest list. And I think especially if it's small and intimate, then you have each guest write down 3 to 5 things about themselves, not 3 to 5 things that they would like to receive as a gift. 3 to 5 things about themselves that gives the other person some insight into the kind of person that they are, you know. Um, and so then that list is circulated amongst all of your guests. And then when they come, they're buying the gift, okay? And the gift has the person's name on it. I mean, the gift has, because they haven't had a chance to pick names, so the gift has your name on it. And then you invite the guests to go up and just pick a gift. They have no idea of what it is, but it has your name on it, so they know who purchased the gift for them. So then they know who to go and thank. So just little tidbits of information, some things that you can do in advance to make your holiday event fun and enjoyable and what have you. If you are inviting children, or children are allowed at your event, have something for them to do. So they just are standing around, milling around, sometimes getting into trouble or hanging on to mom's or dad's, legs because it's nothing for them to do. So maybe you have an older child, or maybe you can have someone come in, a young adult or a responsible teenager that's going to help be responsible for the children. And maybe they have some events and activities in another room where they can go and enjoy themselves while the party is going on and they are not disruptive to the adults. Things that you want to think about in advance, things that you want to make sure that you attend to in advance so that your holiday event goes smoothly the next time. So again, these are just some practical things that I wanted to address, holiday do's and don'ts. Oh, this is the last one, and I think this is really, really a good one. Do not invite people to your holiday event, to your party, to your social that you don't get along with or that you have an art with. You and Susie fell out 6 months ago, and so you want to make it up to her. You want to make it right. So you just send her an invitation. You haven't called her in 6 months. You haven't said, hey, listen, I'm sorry for what I said. I was out of order. Or even if you weren't, you made no attempt at communication for 6 months. And now you want her to come out to your holiday event. Let's say Susie shows up. Susie's still mad too, because you all never got this thing straight between you all that happened 6 months ago. Will Susie show up and be a good guest? She could. She's a bigger person. But Susie could also show up and act a complete fool at your holiday event and recount the whole incident loudly and bodaciously in front of all your other guests, and could cause a horrible scene and cause your party to turn into a nightmare. A nightmare, a holiday nightmare. So let's not invite people. Yes, people do that, unfortunately. Not everybody is mature enough to be able to say, I'm sorry. And the way to say I'm sorry is like this. Susie, I'm sorry for what happened to us or what happened between us 6 months ago. I really apologize for what I said or what I did or whatever your expectation was. The real way to say I'm sorry is just say I'm sorry. You don't say I'm sorry by inviting someone to an event. You don't say I'm sorry by maybe sending flowers or sending a nice gift without verbally saying I am sorry. And I know that people do that. They want to say that they're sorry by way of a gift, by way of flowers. The best way to apologize to a person is to apologize. That's all. That's all it is. Don't wait until let a whole lot of time pass before you say I'm sorry. And again, don't invite them to your event if you all have had a beef between you and you've not cleaned it up. Clean it up first and then extend the invitation. And perhaps they will be gracious enough to actually respond. Hey, Alyssa. Perhaps they will be gracious enough to respond in kind and then come and be gracious enough to accept the apology and come out and enjoy your event. So if you have any questions or anything, yes, verbally. If you have any questions, please post them here in the comments as I'm going to wrap up pretty soon. But I wanted to share some of these holiday do's and don'ts with you so that going forward into the new year, that we're just made aware of some of the practical things, just some of the practical things. Another thing, if there is a color scheme for the party, please try to adhere to the color scheme. Please try to adhere to the color scheme. And do not Do not try to outdress the host or the hostess. The focus and the attention like that is not on you as the guest. You are to come and enjoy yourself, enjoy the meal. And last but not least, when you leave, personally, thank the host and the hostess for their time. Thank them for inviting you. Thank them for the meal. Compliment their home or compliment, the hall where it is. Everything was done so nicely. The decorations were gorgeous. The meal was superb. Oh, I really liked, the cream soup that you served. Pay them a compliment. If you are leaving early, please make sure you see the host personally and thank them. Don't send it by way of another guest. Oh, could you please tell Lady Victoria that I had to leave early? You can let them know that yourself, and the onus is on you to do that. It's your responsibility to uphold that. So, ladies and gents, thank you so much for being part of our Mind Your Manners Monday post-holiday do's and don'ts. And again, these are not just things that we follow during holiday season, but these are protocols that we follow anytime that you are hosting an event. Anything from a backyard barbecue to a children's party to a black tie or a formal white party, whatever it is. These are just practical things that we do when we are hosting other people and having an event. So thank you again for being part of the broadcast on this morning. Please like and share across your social media platforms. I so appreciate that. For all of my live viewers, thank you so much for taking time out of your morning to join us. And for those of you that are going to catch the replay, hey, tag me replay so I know. And I really appreciate it. And then for my YouTube subscribers, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it is YouTube by the same name, Victoria School of Etiquette. Please go over and like the channel. And for my regular subscribers, you can catch this later on today. So I applaud you on today. Thank you again. Always remember, the manners that you practice in private are the ones that show up in public. Have a best etiquette day. This is Lady Victoria signing off. We'll chat again. Bye for now.